Thanks for joining me. We're going to start this practice today on our backs. So if you want to flip over onto your back, you can start to hug your knees into the chest when you come down. And as you hug your knees in, you might rock from side to side. Let's take a moment just to wiggle the toes. Circle your ankles. Close your eyes if you wish. Okay. And then take a moment to pause and just lift your shoulders off the floor, chin towards chest, forehead toward knees. Flex the whole of your spine. And then unfurl, shoulders down, head down. And then let your feet drop down. Feet as wide as your mat. Knees bent. You're going to reach your arms out wide if you have the room. We're going to go ahead and take an inhale. As we exhale, let the knees flop and drop over to the right. Just allowing your feet to roll to the outside edge of the right foot, the inside edge of the left foot. If you wish, your right foot can come on top of that left knee to get a little extra stretch along the outer left hip. If that feels a bit much, just bring your right foot back to the floor. And just tuning into the sound and feel of your own breath. Continuing to let gravity wash over you so that with every exhale, hopefully you can become a little bit softer in your body. Just feeling the depth and breadth of your own breath. Bring your right foot to the floor if it's not already there. And let's go ahead and inhale, bring your knees up through center. And exhale, let your knees flop and drop over to the left. Just rolling to the outside edge of your left foot, inside edge of the right foot. And if you wish, your left foot can stack on top of the right knee. Again, if that's just a bit much in your back, hip, or knee, bring your left foot back to the floor. Taking full inhales and exhales. And as you continue to find this slower, deeper breath, try to let all your thoughts just kind of soften to the edges of your awareness. As you tune in more and more to the sensations in your body today. If your left foot is on your knee, bring it back to the floor. And bring both your knees up. Let's go ahead and take a moment to extend your legs nice and long. And reach your arms overhead and take a whole body stretch. And we release. Let's go ahead and pull the knees back in towards your chest and belly. And allow your knees to drop open. Now, often we do this at the end of a practice. So we are going to start with a little bit of this today just to see how our hips feel, how the inner thighs feel. Just a couple of breaths more. See what you can soften. And then we're going to pull the knees back in. Once again, pull your shoulders off the floor, forehead towards the knees. We're going to go ahead and see if we can rock ourselves back. So tip back, rock all the way up if you can. We're going to do that again. So rock back, rock up. One more time. Rocking back. We rock up and go ahead and stay and sit here. Okay. Moving into just a seated position, crossing your legs if you're able. Keep them straight if that's better. We're going to inhale, reach the arms up nice and high. As we exhale, take a side bend to your right. So let your right hand drop down, reach your left arm overhead, and turn your head in whatever direction feels best for your neck. And think of fanning out this left side rib cage. So it doesn't matter how far down you go, but try to stay open through the chest. So pull the left shoulder blade to the wall behind you. And in fact, let's go ahead and pull that left elbow a little bit farther back. If we can, straighten out the left arm. Reach your left arm as far back as you can. If you wish, you can gaze back towards your left thumb. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, bend that elbow, bow your heart down towards the right knee and thigh, and let the left hand drop to the floor in front of your right knee. And see how wide you can make your upper back. Pull your shoulders away from one another. Breathe deeply. Here we go. We're going to root down through the hips and inhale, reach both hands up and overhead. Exhale, side bend to your left. So left hand drops down, right arm reaches overhead, and again, you turn your head wherever the heck you'd like. Pulling the right shoulder back, breathing deeply, and creating space through the right side ribs. And let's go ahead and think about pulling that right elbow a little bit further back. And then starting to straighten out the right arm, reaching out, perhaps gazing at your right thumb. Good. And here we go. We're going to inhale, bring that right arm back overhead. And with that bend in the elbow, exhale, bow your upper body towards the left knee. Let the right hand drop to the floor in front of that left knee or thigh. Pulling that right elbow and shoulder a bit forward, drawing the left elbow and shoulder a bit back. Nice wide upper back. One more cycle of breath. And then begin just to walk yourself back up. Cool. From here, we're going to flip over to all fours. So making your way to hands and knees. Shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees like we do. Go ahead and wag your hips from side to side. Okay. Pause in the center here. A few little cat cows. Drop the belly down towards the floor. Inhale, lift your head and tail. As you exhale, push away from the floor. Actively draw the belly in. Tuck the pelvis under, chin towards chest. Again, inhale, open up through the front body. And exhaling as we round. One more time through. Inhale, opening up. And exhaling as we round. Let's go ahead and come back through to all fours. Cool. And then from here, let's walk our hands, one hand print forward, so to speak. So you have this nice angle from your shoulder coming down your arm to your wrist to your palms. Right now, your hips are over the knees, pretending that your palms are glued to the mat. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, sink your hips back as far as you can towards your heels. Gaze forward towards your thumbs and push down through your palms and through your armpits. Let's inhale to rise up. Keep your core engaged, shoulders stack over the wrists like a little modified plank. Exhale, sink your hips back towards your heels, bowing the chest forward and down. Again, your arms stay as long as possible. Inhale, rock yourself up, nice and steady, long spine, gazing just beyond the edge of your mat. Exhale, shift your hips back, bow the heart forward and down. Let's go ahead and inhale to rise up. And you can either exhale, stay there, or if you wish, keeping your arms straight and strong, let your hips dip down, pull the shoulders back, gaze forward, and think about drawing the chin towards your throat. Crown of the head extends up. Squeeze your glutes. And if you'd like, bend the right knee. Right foot rises up. Gaze past your right shoulder. Back at that right foot. Hello, foot. Unwind. Let that foot drop down. Bend the left knee. Again, keep those arms strong and straight. Gaze back at your left foot. And then bring the foot down. Good. Lower everything down towards the floor. So your forehead can rest on the mat. Right? Shake out your hips if you want. Good. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and bring the palms to the floor underneath your shoulders. Pull the elbows back, pull the shoulders back. Taking 3 cobras. Now inhale, lift the head and the chest, squeeze your glutes, gaze forward. Exhale as you lower down. Inhale, peeling open and up. Exhaling, lowering down. One more of these. Inhale, rise up. This time, exhale, hinge at the hips. Push your butt as far back as you can. You can let your feet come with you this time. Good old regular child's pose. Forehead to the floor, or perhaps stacked on your fist or your hands. Let your weight really release toward the floor through your hips, belly, armpits, palms, and head. Cool. Here we go. We're going to start to walk our hands closer to our upper body. Rise up. Hands and knees just for a moment. Curl your 10 toes on the mat and see if you can rise up and bring your weight to your heels. So we're actively stretching the feet. If that is not tolerable, stand on your knees. And it may be that you could go back and forth between those 2 points. Okay? So we're just working to stretch the toes, the soles of the feet. Let's go ahead and inhale, reach the hands forward. Exhale, bring the palms together and interlace your fingers. We're going to go ahead and flip those hands. The knuckles face the chest. Draw the shoulders down, and then inhale, bring your hands overhead. Exhale, take a little side bend to the right. Inhale, come up. Exhale, little side bend left. Inhale, rise up. And exhale as we release the hands to the floor. Check it out. We're going to lift these knees up. So we're in a toe squat, finding balance, palms coming together. And as slow and steady as you can, start to bring yourself up to stand. Lower the heels. Shake out your feet. Okay? Cool beans. Now we're going to do a few different balancing postures today. So I wanted to start by stretching your feet just then. And we're going to play with our feet a little bit more like we do because our feet are overlooked most days. And when we are barefoot, we can really kind of activate the muscles in our feet a little bit more so. So as you look at your feet, I want you to push into your 10 toes and think about lifting the arches of your feet. Okay? And just, that's all you're doing. Your toes are down, your heels are down. It's like you're pulling your arches up as best you can. Right? Noticing how that feels. And then let it go. Ha ha ha. Now think of doing the opposite. Think about pushing your arches into the floor as you float all 10 toes up. And see if you can spread your 10 toes. Cool. Let's go ahead and take our gaze forward. All right. And then maybe close your eyes. Breathe. Give it one more breath. And then lower your 10 toes down. Look down at your toes and shift your weight a little bit forward into your toes. All right. And then with your gaze forward, see about lifting your heels up. And breathe. And if you wish, you can see about closing your eyes and become aware of how that affects your balance. Right? It makes me a lot more wobbly. That's okay. Breathe. One more breath. And then lower down. Eyes open, shake out your legs. Okay, so we're going to play with that a little more, a little bit. But for right now, we're going to go ahead and just take a nice wide step on our mat. All right? Nice wide stance. Go ahead and turn your right toes to the short edge of the mat and bend into your right knee. So moving into this classic warrior two shape. So a slight tuck to your tail. Your hips are open. This back left leg is really strong. So we're firmly engaging the front left thigh, pushing weight to the outside edge of the left foot. And then, of course, just look at your right knee. And if it's drifting inward, tread your right big toe. See if you can course correct just a little bit. Pull it kind of so it's more centered with your middle toes. And reach your arms out wide. We'll do a few of these kind of up and down warriors. So pushing into your feet. Inhale, straighten the right leg. Reach your hands up, possibly gaze up. Engage both quads. And as you exhale, sink back down low. Look past your right fingertips. Powerful warrior. Twice more. Inhale, rise up, gaze up. Exhale, sink it down low. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Exhale, sink it down low. Beautiful. Okay. From here, we're going to go ahead and bring our right hand or our right forearm to the right thigh. Reach the left arm past your left ear. Okay, so you've got that. Now see if you can float your right hand or arm off of that right thigh. Strong, long lines through your obliques. Trying not to curve your upper body. Right? But nice long lines. Strong extended side angle. Here we go. One more breath. And then rise. Arms come wide. Turn the right toes to the wide edge. Left toes to the short edge. Bend into your left knee. So same thing other side. Find the depth that feels good for you. Really strong in this back right leg. Look at the angle of that left knee. If it's drifting inward, try to open out a little bit through that hip. Adjust your stance as you need. Try not to let your low ribs flare forward so you're not popping your chest forward and your butt back, but kind of drawing this in so you're stacked, shoulders over the wrist. Reach your arms out wide. Okay, and here we go. Push away from the floor, straighten the left leg. Inhale, reach up, maybe gaze up. Exhale, float it back down. Strong warrior two. Again, inhale, rise up, reach up. Exhale as we sink it back down. One more time. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Exhale as we sink it back down. Hello, warrior. Left hand to left thigh or left forearm to left thigh. Reach the right arm past the right ear. So there's that extended side angle, this long line through the right side body. And then see if we can float the left arm off the left leg. And of course, if you're like, you know what, it's a bit much today, you don't have to do it. You can keep your arm there. But if you are doing it, try to keep your chest open, your hips open. Breathe. Cool. And then here we go. We don't have to do that anymore. Rise up, arms wide. Turn your left toes to the wide edge too. So your legs are still wide. I'm going to bring the hands to the hips. Pull your elbows back. Pull your shoulders back. Right? Take an inhale, look up. Now really from the front of your thighs. And exhale, hinge forward and down. Keeping your elbows pulling back to the sky behind you. Allowing your head to hang. And then let your hands drop down to the floor. Straight legs or soft knees. Maybe lunge a little bit from side to side if you wish. So if you have a bit of bend in your knees because the back side of your legs are really tight, your heels can turn in a little and your toes can turn out. If you have the flexibility and it feels good to do so, you can keep your legs straight. And if you wish, you might turn your toes a little in, your heels a little out. So if you are a straight-legged practitioner today, think about firming up the front of your legs and then seeing if you can bring more weight into your toes. Your heels stay down. You're just shifting your center of balance a little forward. Your center of gravity. Is that what that is? Center of balance? You know what I'm saying. Cool. Let's give that one more breath. And then if you shifted yourself forward, you're going to shift it back into your heels. Okay. We're going to go ahead and turn the heels in, the toes out. Soften your knees, sink your butt down, and bring your hands on top of your thighs. So now it's like we have the two warrior two-ish legs. We're in the squat, as low as you can comfortably go. Right? Shift around as you need. Here we go. Take a breath in. As you exhale, dip your right shoulder down, rotate your chest to the left. Inhale, come up through center. Exhale, dip your left shoulder down. Rotate your chest to the right. Good. We're going to come up through center and then walk your hands out towards your hips. Rise and straighten your legs. Okay? Adjust your feet as you need. Heels still in, toes still out. Coming back down, we squat. Hands to your hips. Draw in the low belly. Again, try not to flare your ribs forward. And then a little footwork. See if we can inhale, lift the right heel. Exhale, put it down. Inhale, left heel up. Exhale, put it down. All right, toes this time. Right foot. Inhale, lift your right foot up. Toes up. Exhale, put it down. Left toes. Inhale, pick your left toes up. Exhale, put it down. Cool. Straighten out your legs. Good. And then we're going to one more time squat. So adjust your stance as you need. Bend into your knees, sink yourself down, adjust those feet. Keeping the front side of your body strong, tuck your tail, and then pitch your upper body a bit forward. And let's go ahead and reach the arms out wide. Okay? Feet stuff again. Inhale, right heel up. Exhale, put it down. Inhale, left heel up. Exhale, down. Toes. Inhale, right toes up. Exhale, down. Left foot. Inhale, left foot up. Exhale, down. Good stuff. Let your hands drop. Turn your feet as you need. One more wide-legged forward fold. Straight legs or bent knees. Weight in your heels or maybe weight in your toes. All right. And then here we go. Pivoting your heels in a little, toes out, soften your knees. And this time, we just slowly roll ourselves up to stand. Start to shift your feet back together. Shake things out. So again, trying to kind of get you more in tune with your feet to help you get a bit more in tune with overall balance before we get into more balance. So upper body nice and long, right? We're going to stand for a moment just in Tadasana, mountain pose. So feet hips distance. Look down at your feet, maybe rock back and forth on your feet. And then just take your gaze forward. Your palms can either face your thighs or they can face forward. Draw your shoulders down, crown of the head extends up. Yeah? So this is mountain pose, Tadasana. Now I want you to go ahead and with your left leg still straight, bring a bit of shift more to the left side body. And we're going to slide this right toe back. So the right leg is long, right toe to the floor. Bring one hand to the bottom of your ribs. And you're doing this to help you be aware of whether you tend to flare your chest or if you can keep it kind of drawn in, nice and strong in your body. You can bring your left hand to your left hip and see about lifting this right leg. And you might just lift it a little, or if you wish, you can see about tipping forward, pushing out through that right heel. Okay? You want your right toes and your right knee to be facing the ground. Wherever you are in this balance, or if you've fallen out of it, it's all good. We're coming out anyway. Rise up. Shake things out. So again, you might feel like the muscles in your feet really kind of talking to you as you figure this out. You want to get your toes as agile as your fingers, which is why we do yoga barefoot. Doing it in socks or shoes really disconnects us from those muscles that we need to kind of strengthen. And those tiny little muscles that run out with your feet really help the rest of these larger muscles that we typically focus on in other parts of the practice. Okay, so standing up nice and tall, firm up the front of the right thigh, and start to slide your left toe back, left leg long. Okay, we're going to go ahead, and bring our left hand to our low ribs. Again, just as a reminder that we're not flaring forward and dumping the pelvis forward, thereby the belly dumps forward and the ribs flare. So we tuck the tail a little bit, pull the belly in, right hand to right hip. And stay as you are, or see about lifting your left foot a little bit or further, keeping a nice long line from your head to your right hip. Tipping forward, maybe flexing that left ankle so your left toes and left knee turn towards the floor. All right, one more breath. And then rise up. Okay, so shaking things out. We're going to give this a go with bent knees. So feet hips distance. Little baby squat, so we bend into our knees as if we were sitting in a bar stool, perhaps, right? Not a low chair, but just kind of butt on the edge of a stool. From here, bring more weight into that left side body and start to slide your right toes back. Same thing. So what we're doing is we're going to compare a straight leg warrior 3 with a bent knee warrior 3. We do this a lot in vinyasa, but in hatha, we have a chance to take it slower and explore. So same. Maybe we lift that right foot a little. Maybe we lift it a lot as we extend the upper body forward and down. Breathing here. So is it harder or easier with the left knee bent, the left hip flexed? Okay. Here we go. We're rising up. And release. Shake stuff out. So both feet rooted down, hips distance. Take that little bar stool, wedge your bum up on the chair. More weight into the right foot. Slide the left toes back. Okay. So again, you can stay here, or you can lift your left foot a little, or more so as you allow the upper body to tip forward, extending forward. Playing with your balance. So what people often find is it's easier to balance, but it requires a lot more strength of your right hip and your glutes and your quads and your hamstrings, and you can really feel the stuff in your shins and calves, right? Rise up, let it go. Whereas with a straight leg warrior 3, people will often just feel it in the hamstrings. Okay, so one's not better than the other, but it's kind of fun to explore the different options there. So we're going to look at one more balancing pose today before we start to simmer down. And it is going to be a bent knee half moon pose. So typically a half moon pose is where we have 2 straight legs and we find our balance. So we're trying to stack shoulder over shoulder, hip over hip. We push out through the back heel. And this bottom hand might be on the floor or a yoga block, or you can try to float it. Okay, so we're not quite doing that. We're going to do it with a bent knee. Okay, so with your feet wide, turning right toes to the short edge of the mat, bend into that right knee. So we get that warrior 2 shape. So we're going to try to tip ourselves forward. Now remember how when we were in side angle with that floating arm, we were trying to keep our shoulders open and our belly open and our hips open. So that will still apply, but we're going to take that back foot off the floor and tip this warrior 2 a bit. Okay? So that bend in the knee, right? And from here, see if you can shorten your stance. Right, so this left toe might just come in a little bit, and you can play with lifting it a little bit, or you can play with lifting it a lot.
Reaching your left arm up, reaching your right hand low, maybe sinking a little lower into that right hip. Push out through the left heel. Give it one more breath. And then bring it back. Oh, cool? Not cool? It's okay. Turn the right foot to the wide edge. Left foot to the short edge. You have to back up a little bit here for myself. And we come into that warrior two shape. So hips open to the wide edge-ish. Bend into the left knee. Arms go wide. And again, we can reach forward through this left arm. And we shorten the stance a little. We shorten the stance. And we keep that bend in the left knee and maybe the right toes lift. Maybe reaching the left hand down. Reaching the right arm up. Trying to keep everything kind of stacked and open. Ha ha ha. Giving it one more breath, y'all. And then bring it back. Whew, nice work. Let your arms drop down. Bring your feet together. Shake things out. Ha. So, to bring ourselves. You can come to the top of your mat if you want. I'm going to stay facing the camera here to the wide edge. So, feet hips distance, hands in prayer, heels away from the floor. And then from here, see about sinking yourself down and down and down. We're going to let the hands drop and allow your knees to pivot out to the side. And your heels will pivot in toward each other. Okay? And so you can stay here with your hands on the floor. Your hands on your thighs, hands in prayer, hands up in the air. So again, working the feet, ankles, shins, finding balance. Right? And then if your arms are up in any way, shape, or form, we're going to bring them down to the floor. And allow your upper body to round down. And your hands can stay as they are. Or if you wish, you can reach your arms off either side. So maybe your triceps are meeting your shins. Or if you want to really wrap yourself up, you can bring a bend to your elbows and bring your hands back to bind around your heels. Pulling your upper body forward and down, really rounding your back, chin to the chest. Good. And then whatever you got, release the feet. Bring your knees down. We're going to go ahead and set our bum down and extend the legs nice and long out in front of us. A little butt shift your feet, yourself forward, so your heels hang just off the edge of your mat. Maybe wiggle your toes, circle out your ankles. Good. And then from here, I want to flex the ankles, turn the toes up, sitting up nice and tall in your upper body. Bring the hands together. Interlace all the fingers except the thumbs and the index fingers. Right? And from here, nice and strong in your core. Long spine. Tip yourself back. Tip yourself back to whatever is a sustainable tipping back place. If you're kind of collapsing and rounding in your back, you've gone too far. So bring yourself up again. And tip back, okay? From here, just a few leg lifts. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, lower it down. Inhaling left leg up. Exhaling down. Twice more. Inhale, right leg up. Exhaling down. Inhale, left leg up. Exhaling down. Inhale, right foot up. Exhaling down. Inhale, left foot. Exhale down. Here we go. Tip and tip and tip and tip and lower. Ah. Okay. Bend your knees. Pull them in toward your belly, into your chest, and rock. Okay. Let's go ahead and extend the right leg down the floor as you pull the left knee in close. Reach your left arm off to the left side of the room and take a breath in. As you exhale, twist. We cross the left knee over to the right. And if you'd like, turn your head to the left. And of course, if this makes your low back achy or cranky, or your hips in any way are not happy with this, you might try bending that bottom right knee. And that will often alleviate some kind of over torque that your body doesn't appreciate. Let's go ahead and unwind your head. Unwind your hips. And pull both knees in. Extend the left leg long, pulling the right knee in close. Reaching right arm off to the right side, take an inhale. And then exhale, twist, guide the right knee over to the left. Maybe turn your head to the right. One more round of breath. And then unwind your head, your shoulders, and your hips. Pull both knees in. Now open your knees wide once again. And maybe it feels a little different than it did in the beginning. Maybe it's just about the same. If you want to transform that into your happy baby, maybe grab a hold of your feet and pull the soles of the feet so they face towards the sky. Knees in a deep bend. Maybe rocking from side to side. Relax your jaw. And if you have hold of your feet, release them. Push the knees back together. Curl your forehead up toward the knees. And then lower the shoulders and head. And release and extend your arms and legs. Shift around as you need. We're sliding into that sweet space of Shavasana. So lying on your back, or maybe your belly or your side. Maybe a seated meditation or a child's pose. You choose today. You choose every day. Move as you need, and then let's take a nice big inhale through the nose. Fill up. Exhale, sigh it out. And rest. Just as you are, you can go ahead and start to breathe a little bit deeper. And feeling the rise and fall of your chest and belly, start to bring some movement through your fingers and your toes. Moving through your wrist and your ankles, and possibly your head and your neck. Reaching the arms overhead, take an inhale, stretch long. And as you exhale, gently release and roll to your left or right side. We pause there for a moment. Giving some gratitude for these bodies that see us through each day, through each practice. Let's go ahead and use our hands, our arms to guide us up into a comfortable seat. As we root down, sit tall. And together, inhale, arms up and overhead. Exhaling as we bring the hands to close in front of the heart. Thank you so much for sharing your time with me. I appreciate you. May you be well, may you be safe, may you be kind. Big peace to you, friends.